Hi, Matty Gugas here in Livingston, Montana, and we have a BNSF yard here. There's 3 locomotives there, they're running. Look at that brand new one over there. And then that blue one looks like one of those remote control units. There's another one. I'm gonna get a room here in Livingston. Maybe I can catch one of these trains pulling out later. Hi, Matty Gugas here again in Livingston, Montana. This intermodal train came in while I was eating. And looky here. Aren't those hoppers? Aren't those hoppers attached to those? So make me a liar. There's a mixed train. Wow. So stay tuned. I'm going to get whatever this is coming. Yeah, hey, I don't know what all these pipes are, but it makes for a pretty darn good fence for this rail yard. Let me get up over again and get a good look at that big reel there. Whew. Alright, so I'm going to walk down a little further. Alright, well, I can't see where the locomotives are. Heading back to the hotel. Alright, so this train is pulling out. Or pulling up. Did you hear all that slack? All that slack get actually stretched out. Did you hear the train just get stretched out? So, see what this train does. It's darker now. I'll go up here where there's a little more light, but so see what this train is I guess it's recrewed and moving west. Oh well. I was in the actually I was in the shower when the train came in. I came out of the shower, heard the noise. The locomotives had already gone by, obviously, since they're way up that way. That's to the west. We'll see if there's a DPU on the back of this train, and then we'll come out here tomorrow morning and see what we can see. But I can see the automobiles, and you see them. See the automobiles shining with the car lights going by, reflecting. Sorry, the light from the car lights driving by. Anyway, so we're up in Livingston. West of us is Bozeman. Then you slip through this little sliver of Idaho into Washington State. This train is heading for Seattle, probably. Oh, I think I hear a DPU. Just cranking up. Let's see. If we can get the DPU, I'll include it in my. Yep. I'll include it in my actually 1 blue and white one in the middle, that's like the remote control ones we saw in Tulsa. So I guess they're just pushing this train, I don't know, out through the yard to the other end of the yard. I don't know. I mean, they're obviously not going to Seattle with the locomotives on the back. Anyway, good night. All right, let me pose one more scenario. So yeah, there was a pretty good pass. I mean, the train I filmed was a small train. What was that, 2 locomotives, 3? I have to watch it again, but no DPU, but oh, that was a small train. And those could have been empty cars. So maybe this is where they get helpers to go over that Bozeman Pass. That's, maybe that's it. That's pretty slick. I'll have to watch that process tomorrow. So they stop here, the helpers attach to the back of the train and help it go over the Bozeman Pass. All right, so look at me, sleepyhead. 7:50. Actually, it's only 5:50 here, Mountain Time, and the yard is cleaned out here in Livingston, Montana. We got the helpers over there. By the way, today, most importantly, is August 25th, my dad's birthday, bless his soul. My dad kind of made this trip possible because I was still working, and I planned on working until I was 70. Anyway, the rest of it, you can figure it out. He passed away last year at 98 and a half years old. Army, World War II, England, France, Germany, and the Philippines. So, all right, so I'm going to move on to this place called Railroad Park. Maybe we can see a train going through while I'm getting packed up. Maybe a train will pull in and we can watch these helpers attached to it and confirm what I was, well, we'll see if these are helpers. And they attach to it and to go over the pass and confirm my description last night. Stay tuned. All right, so by the way, it's 48 degrees here in the mountains. Pretty chilly. I have a hoodie on and shorts, so I'm heading back to the room to put jeans on and maybe another shirt underneath. Anyway, Matty Gook is out from Livingston, Montana. All right, so I heard the train horn, and there go 3 helpers again. All right, so the conductor just got out. Maybe through a switch. Maybe they're gonna go fuel these 3 locomotives. Let's see. All right, let's watch this process. And there's a train coming in the yard from the north end, sorry, from the west end. Yeah, I'm going into fuel. Not bad at all. I'm going into refuel, sorry. Fuel up, refuel, get some fuel, put fuel in the tanks. Nice. I'm going to change positions for this train. All right, so Burlington Northern Santa Fe. This train's booking. I don't think he's going to stop. Coming right through town. Right through the yard. The grain train. So yeah, those are all no doubt grain hoppers. Well, they are grain hoppers, but hoppers full of grain from the western farmland here. When I came into Bozeman from West Yellowstone, the amount of hay being grown was more hay than I've seen in my lifetime, I think. Gonna have a DPU. On this grain train. Seems logical. Even though they just came over the pass, I don't know if you can see the mountains there. Yeah, upper left-hand corner of the picture. I'm gonna swing. I'll swing that way. Yep, here comes the DPU. Ah, it's the Norfolk Southern. Look at that, the Norfolk Southern horse in Livingston, Montana. Alright, let me swing back around and that building's in the way, but you can see the mountains there. Alright, so I missed the beginning of this intermodal train rolling through town, but seems like a busy corridor. I'm heading for that rail park. Alright, so Matty Gook is here. This is Woods Place, Montana. Sorry there's no trains coming, but wouldn't this be just an awesome place to film a train? Let me pan slowly. So I just left Livingston, and there's been quite a bit of train traffic. Look at that peak up there. Let me see if I can see any signals with the binocs. Oh my God, you live right. When you live right, you get... I just said, wouldn't it be... like, I did not know this train was coming. Honest to God. You might have heard, I actually heard it when I was panning the camera. If you go back and listen. I swear I did not know this train was coming. Alright, that's all. more grain cars. I'm looking at the springs, they look empty. They sound empty. The train's running light. Just unbelievable. I'm gonna pan this way. Can we get that mountain peak back on? Let me see. I gotta walk over this way a little bit. Yeah, look, so the mountain peak over the train. I'm moving here. I'm kidding. St. Augustine Paradise. Yes, we produce the most food in the world. Who didn't know that? Yeah, there's some other great places in the world that produce a lot of food. But here comes the DPU. That DPU cranking as they go up the hill into Livingston. Woohoo! Alright, here's an example of the hay I was talking about. Like, this hay is like all over the place, man. I mean, just tons of it. Millions of tons of it. Alright, so this is Interstate 90. There's a lot of traffic, but this is Mattigookus near Park City, Montana. I missed my turn for the railroad park, but I'm glad I did, because check it out now, an ethanol facility. No locomotive, no power here right now. I know, you probably can't see that, but we got high green at the East Rapids crossing here and just west of Laurel, Montana. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna come clean. I'm pausing. For the train horns. Anyway, hopefully you're... Unlike... that's enough. Unlike the other time, I know this train is coming. I saw it back there. It's a coal train. Stay tuned. All right, so here it comes. Again, I saw this train. It's a coal train. I don't know where it originated. I'll do my homework. BNSF country. Up there, Railfanning. Check out that coal mound up there. So it's not a diamond. It's a place where the continuous rail is reconnected or connected. Woo! too. Wow, 1 DPU. I mean, I guess coal is kind of light. Still, how much do all those cars weigh? Anyway, there you go. Coal train here in East Rapids, Montana. All right, sorry, I'm filming into the sun. This train's booking right along. I might walk into that shade too. So this is an old railroad station. I'll show it to you. You can tell by the eaves and how close it is to the tracks. Yeah. I guess this could still be Powder River coal coming out of Wyoming, heading to a West Coast port. I don't know, I gotta do some homework. Am I zooming in too far? I am. Sorry about that, folks. This is up close and personal. BNSF coal train in Montana. I don't know what town I just drove into. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm gonna swing around here again. Good set DPU. Get ready for the DPU. So I guess this train probably has to stop in Livingston, get some helpers, maybe even cut it in half to get over the pass. Here comes the DPU. There's an old, this is an old rail station. Probably guessing it was Northern Pacific. There's a sign over there. Let's walk over there. There's a company operating out of this thing now. So, oh, it's Montana Rail Link. Maintenance of way facility. Hot damn, I wonder if they'll talk to me. Stay tuned. So this is Columbus, Montana, yeah. Now I remember that from the map. Let me pan around and so it looks like they're putting there's a new crossing somewhere, 3rd Street. A nice brand new crossing gates, arms, lights. Well, I don't see the arms, but lights. All right, so yeah, we got the military service veteran monument here in Columbus, Montana. Beautiful. So you got the Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard represented over here. Well, I guess so. And then you got the Army and Marines. It's all together. They're just the logos, the military service, branch of service logos are separated for some reason. Not all 5 together. I don't want to misspeak, you know, offend anybody. God bless our veterans. Of course, my dad was a World War II veteran. France, England, France, Germany, and then the Philippines. He made it home, obviously. Passed away last year, unfortunately, at 98 and a half, but 11 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren. All right, Matty again here in Columbus, Montana. So this is 3rd Street right here, so that new equipment is going right here. But let me swing around. So we got signal activity. And it's really bright today, but I can tell those are solid red, so maybe we got another westbound train. All right, so I'm gonna walk back to that thrift store. If there is a train coming, they should hear it. The thrift store's over there. That block of buildings there. The wind is coming from the east there. So you should be able to hear the trains from a long distance. It also could be red because they could be working that ethanol facility up there. Well, so I was trying to film myself, but it's too bright anyway. We got high green for an eastbound train. Stay tuned right here in Columbus, Montana. Look at that. So that's how all the ice cream used to come when I was little in a cardboard box. All right, so Matty again here in Columbus, Montana. I switched positions. Got myself a cool drink, put on a t-shirt. It's getting warm here again. Although there's a nice breeze, I don't know what direction, from the east, from behind me. Should be east, but anyway, we got red and westbound red, so the arrival of that eastbound train should be imminent. It's the busiest street in town, I guess, is Pratton Street. You got a True Value there, an Ace there, a bunch of stuff down that way. But let's film this train and then I'm gonna move on. All right, so I'm hoping for an intermodal train. Let's see what we got. Grain train. Yep, this is maybe some of you folks who aren't familiar with the rest of the country rail network who watch my channel can start to see how much grain and food products are moved by rail. Look at this. An entire unit of hoppers. Once again, grain hoppers. There's multiple products that can be in these hoppers. You know, wheat, of course, is are we the #1 producer of wheat in the world? Probably, no doubt. There's other commodities that can be in here, soybeans. I mean, I couldn't even list them all. Corn. Not a giant train, a unit train, nonetheless. There you go, BNSF Railway from Columbus, Montana. All right, so I was over there eating, but these signals stayed on. So, or it came on again. But maybe there's another eastbound train. There is a big facility in Laurel, just east of here, so This is a busy line. Of course, this line goes to Seattle and Portland and Spokane, so busy would be expected. So I moseyed over here to 3rd Street to see if this signal was green, to make sure I wasn't sitting down there for too long. And we got red in both directions, which means I don't know what the heck it means, but could mean they're working that ethanol facility up there. It could mean they're queued up a train leaving Laurel. That's not that far from here. I wouldn't think that these would come on, these eastbound signals would come on red though until the train was actually moving. And the signals down there were still red when I just drove away, so I don't know. I'm gonna move along. I got enough train footage. Maybe they're gonna do some maintenance over there. There's another truck, another BNSF truck over there. Maybe they're gonna start working on this crossing. Who knows? It could mean a lot of things. But stay tuned. You're in for a real treat. I'm only a little more than an hour from the top of Beartooth Pass. So those of you who are following my channel and watching trains, you're also going to get to see one of the tallest mountains around from the top. All right, so this is Laurel, Montana, giant refinery. Let me pan. You're only going to see like part of it, and yeah, they're rail served, and there goes the train. Tank cars. So he pulled up to there, and the conductor is over there where that truck is. Throwing a switch, I guess. No, they're pulling forward again. Okay, I thought he was going to back down there after the conductor threw the switch, but nope. This conductor here, sorry. This is the conductor here those two guys were. So this guy threw the switch. This conductor here threw the switch. So that now they can pull these cars out there and set them out, I guess. Let's see if that's what's going to happen. If my voice sounds funny, it's because one of my ears is still blocked from the elevation. Coming down off that 11,000 foot peak. Alright, so yeah, you got two guys there. Now he's throwing that switch back. You'll have to zoom in and watch that. And so, yeah, now he's going to back down here. Again. Alright, so a little Laurel, Montana oil refinery, Burlington Northern Rail Service going on. You can see the conductor walking, and the guy maybe a trainee, I don't know. Yeah, they're stopping right there where those two guys were again. Or no, I guess. Yep. guess they got to throw another switch. Well, it looks like they're going to cut these cars. Let me see what they're going to do. I don't know what he just did. Reached in there with something like a long pole. Oh, they're putting the brakes on. Okay, yeah. So they don't have to climb up and crank the wheel. He's got some kind of a thing with a long pole where he can put the brakes on. So 2 cars out of 6, they put the brakes on. You saw that process. Now they're walking up and they'll, guessing they'll cut the locomotive. Wait a minute. Go back over here. They stopped right there. Alright, so they just tightened up that consist. They must have undone that hitch. Yep. Watch the air hose pops. Okay. So they set out 4 cars. And quickly, before he disappears. So, there's a rhyme or when you're watching this as a layman, there's no rhyme or reason. There appears to be no rhyme or reason to what they're doing, but it's always a plan. So, alright, now they're walking back to throw a switch, I guess. We'll watch one more segment of this and see what happens. Okay, so yeah, they're at a switch. He's throwing the switch. Okay, see that? Again, you'll have to zoom in. I'm not going to zoom in on these people without their permission. You can zoom in. Alright, so now, yeah, so they threw that switch. So now he's going to come down with these cars. Folks, I gotta sneeze. I might have to shut down for a second. See how far back they go. These cars. Alright. It's slowing down. That's so this thing that goes across the road here is a pipeline that fills these tanks over here. I'm gonna pan away from the train for a second. So yeah, you got all these tanks out here. Alright, so panning back to the train. Alright, so they're gonna set those cars down there where maybe maybe they load these cars now with a different type of fuel. Yep, so he gives the word that he stopped and that they can climb on or unhitch or put on brakes or whatever they need to do. I say the engineer. The engineer gives the honk that he's done moving so they can do their work, and then so they're communicating by radio, but that horn is a safety thing. And then they blow it again. So the protocol is twice when they get ready to move. I think we've heard that already, but they'll blow the horn again. He'll blow the horn again when the locomotive moves again, but he won't move until now. He won't move until the conductor or conductors radio him and tell him that he can move, which, well, they didn't blow the horn. Okay, so they set that one car down there. Yeah, so when you walk in, not to be repetitive, but when you watch this as a layman, there seems to be no rhyme or reason as to what they're doing, but it's absolutely, positively specific. So, anyway, you get the picture. I don't know what he's going to do with this white car. He's pulling up slowly. He's going to stop again under this probably loading area. Yeah, so he's stopped. He gives the word that the horn, again, they're communicating by radio, but he still blows the horn that he's stopped and he's not going to move again until the conductor or conductors tell him that he can. Okay. We'll give it a couple more. We'll give it a little bit more here. We'll probably unhook from that white tanker car there and then pull the locomotive away. Seems to be the only option left. Unless they're gonna just park there for the night, but I know I'm being funny. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. Yep. So they had to put the brakes on those two cars that were set. The one down there, the short black one, and the big long white one. And so now they've unhooked from that car, and they all got on the locomotive, the two conductors, and now they're going up here to do something. Anyway, that's it. That's yeah, you can see that's BNSF. You can see the two conductors that were riding the train there. So that's BNSF. Switching at the Laurel Refinery. I'm moving on. Alright, so he's going to come down and reconnect to these 4 cars that they cut off a few minutes ago. And then, I'm going to pull these cars down there somewhere. Anyway, who knows what's going to happen. Cars, but they'll be moved somewhere. I'm out.